Trump says Canada, China, Mexico tariffs taking effect Saturday, and more coming. President Donald Trump said Friday he would place 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and 10% tariffs on goods from China effective Saturday, raising the specter of swift price increases for U.S. consumers, even though he suggested he would try to blunt the impact on oil imports. Trump had been threatening the tariffs to ensure greater cooperation from the countries on stopping illegal immigration and the smuggling of chemicals used for fentanyl, but he has also pledged to use tariffs to boost domestic manufacturing and raise revenues for the federal government. Starting tomorrow, those tariffs will be in place, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt told reporters earlier Friday. These are promises made and promises kept by the president. Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office later, Trump said there was nothing the three countries could do to prevent the tariffs from going into force Saturday. The tariffs carry both political and economic risks for Trump, who is just 2 weeks into his second term. Many voters backed the Republican on the promise that he could tamp down inflation, but the possibility of tariffs could trigger higher prices and potentially disrupt the energy, auto, lumber, and agricultural sectors. Trump also drew fire for starting a trade fight with U.S. neighbors and allies Canada and Mexico, as well as geopolitical rival China. We should be focused on going hard against competitors who rigged the game, like China, rather than attacking our allies, said Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer of New York. If these tariffs go into full effect, it will raise prices for everything from groceries to cars to gas, making it even harder for middle-class families to just get by. Trump had said he was weighing issuing an exemption for Canadian and Mexican oil imports. He said Friday that he was considering a lower tariff rate on oil, but it was unclear if that lower rate would be in place when he signs the order Saturday. "I'm probably going to reduce the tariff a little bit on that," Trump said of oil. "We think we're going to bring it down to 10%. The United States imported almost 4.6 million barrels of oil daily from Canada in October and 563,000 barrels from Mexico, according to the Energy Information Administration. U.S. daily production during that month averaged nearly 13.5 million barrels a day. Trump has previously stated a 10% tariff on Chinese imports would be on top of other import taxes charged on products from the country. The president also said more tariffs were coming, though he offered few specifics. "We're going to put tariffs on computer chips. We're going to put tariffs on oil and gas. That'll happen fairly soon, I think around the 17th of February, Trump said, also promising tariffs on copper and the European Union. Shortly after Leavitt spoke, the S&P 500 stock index sold off and largely erased its gains on the day. "We should expect all three countries to retaliate," said Wendy Cutler, a former U.S. trade negotiator. China responded aggressively to tariffs Trump imposed on Chinese goods during his first term, targeting the president's supporters in rural America with retaliatory taxes on U.S. farm exports. Kurt Tong, former U.S. Consul General in Hong Kong and Macau and now managing partner at the Asia Group, said he was surprised by the new levies on China. Trump had shown a real effort to establish channels of communication with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Tong said, and imposing tariffs on Chinese products at this very early stage would make it difficult to get to the negotiating table. He expects measurable and significant retaliation from Beijing. Both Canada and Mexico have said they prepared the option of retaliatory tariffs to be used if necessary, which in turn could trigger a wider trade conflict that economic analyses say could hurt growth and further accelerate inflation. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Friday that Canada is ready as a response if Trump goes ahead with the tariffs, but he did not give details.